Good evening. My name is Shail Palako-Saransky. I'm president at Bank Street College of Education, and welcome to our BSCAA Awards ceremony. I'm so pleased you're able to join us, and I just want to say thank you to everyone in the extended Bank Street community. This has definitely been the hardest year I've ever experienced as an educator, and I know many across our school, our graduate programs, and our alums have really had intense struggles this year with their health, with helping their communities and their schools to navigate really complicated, painful moments. And such creativity and such perseverance has emerged in the context of this crisis. So I'm so proud of what we've all been able to accomplish this year despite real challenges. And I think that reflected in the folks we're honoring tonight is exactly that spirit. I also want to thank you, the BSCAA Advisory Board and our Social Justice Committee for a great year of volunteer service. That's been really important to us. And I also want to mention that as we go into this coming year, so much of our work is going to center on figuring out how to reopen. For our graduate school, that means returning most of our programs to in-person classes. But for those of you in the field working with children and with teachers, it's thinking about how to acknowledge the traumas of this year and also acknowledge the strengths. You know, every child in our schools was doing something important, and the learning that happened, even if they didn't engage fully in school over this past year, is important to understand and support and build from. So I look forward to hearing more about your wonderful work and enjoy the program this evening.
I second Shail's welcome to this important BSCAA Awards event and congratulate ahead of time the folks who will be recognized this year for their powerful work. First and foremost, I thank you for your support in our accreditation process. The visiting team was very impressed with the number of alumni that came out on a Sunday evening to describe their work with Bank Street. We will be hearing about their decisions soon. For this evening, I've been asked to provide you with some news from the graduate school, and there is much to support. We have been doing strong work you graduates can be proud of. To begin my description of some of our work, I turn to our efforts to strengthen the social justice thread of our programs and educate teachers and leaders who are both committed to and skilled in creating classrooms and schools that are equity focused. Programmatically, this year, faculty have used our 4 curricular lenses to assess and modify coursework. These lenses are racial literacy, development and developmental variation, multilingual learning, and creative and experimental spirit. We have a lively intellectual life in the graduate school. We are in the 6th year of our inquiry into issues of race as they affect our work with students. We have an ongoing writing group to which faculty bring drafts of their work for advice, and there has been much publication of work. For example, colleagues have published 3 books this year: Carla España, Leslie Koplow, and me, Cecilia Troll. On the research and policy front, I have 2 important developments to report. The Strauss Center for Young Children and Families is developing a strong footing in the graduate school. Reestablished in the fall of 2019 with the purpose of advancing Bank Street College of Education's mission through practice-oriented, policy-relevant, and equity-committed research, the director, Mark Nagasawa, and the associate director, Alex Figueroa Daniel, are building a strong entity. An important note: Alex won a prestigious 2021 Young Scholar Award from the Foundation for Child Development for her project, Improving Dual Language for Teaching for Spanish Speakers, evaluating a professional learning system that elevates Latina teacher voices. And the National Center for Children in Poverty moved to Bank Street from Columbia last summer. Their research and policy work is nationally known and has great impact around the country. On the programmatic side of things, I will highlight three large areas of work. One facet is our efforts to establish residency programs. Residencies are a desired way to educate strong teachers who, as students, spend a year in classrooms and then become teachers of record while completing their programs. We have two residency programs. The TESOL residency is recruiting its third cohort for this upcoming fall. And we are working with District 13 to begin a residency in childhood, special, and general education this coming fall. In early childhood, we continue with two important initiatives. The Early Childhood Urban Ed Initiative Bronx Cohort, the program based in early childhood centers in the Bronx and Harlem, will graduate its third cohort next spring. We are recruiting a second cohort for our early childhood competency-based program to begin this summer. This is a program for experienced early childhood educators who need master's degrees for their ongoing professional lives. And we have developed, with the support of Meteor, a company knowledgeable about creating and marketing fully online programs, a handful of fully virtual programs: early childhood general and special education, childhood general and special education, progressive leadership, early childhood leadership, district administrative certification. The enrollment has steadily grown in these programs, and that enrollment has made a difference in the overall health of the graduate school. Students in them are pleased with their quality, and faculty have learned much about good online teaching through the support of Laura Zadoff and Robin Hummel. Of course, our fully online programs were not the only things we did online this year. Programmatically, our work was marked by the pandemic, and the graduate school did all of its work online: coursework, classroom supervision, department meetings, division meetings, hiring new faculty. We did this well. We do miss seeing our colleagues in person, but we have been committed to doing good work and seeing what these new circumstances can teach us. At our last division meeting, we spent time together thinking about what we wanted to carry forward with us as we move to teaching face-to-face again. I will close this recital of accomplishments with one last new development: the reorganization of student services. In the past, our logistical work with students was shared and siloed among three offices. Students were frequently running back and forth between the registrar, financial aid, and bursar to get questions answered, forms signed, etc. Last year, we developed what is called a one-stop shop, where students have a student services advisor to go to with all their logistical questions. We are coming to the close of the first year of this new organization, and I will say that it is a success. With the help of a new assistant dean, Kristen Waters, the advisors are learning to carry out their new roles with smiles, and students have rated their work with advisors highly. I hope this gives you a bit of a picture of our work. As I said earlier, you can be proud to be a graduate of Bank Street. We are continuing, with your help, to be a leader in education, a place looked to for enacting humane values in education. So, thank you for being here, and my congratulations to the BSCAA honorees we are to meet now.
I am Erica Davis, current president of the Bank Street College Alumni Association, better known as BSCAA. BSCAA promotes opportunities for alumni to stay connected through gatherings, networking events, and learning opportunities. It is committed to building a connection between Bank Street and its alumni community. BSCAA's leadership is composed of 5 officers who are elected by the overall alumni body for a 2-year term. Our current officers include Margaret Ryan, Vice President, Becky Hamilton Scudieri, Secretary, Nancy Cardwell and Ray B. Nickens, Representatives at Large. In addition, a group of 20 to 30 advisory board members are invited to serve for as long as they remain active participants. Each spring, BSCAA presents its annual awards to celebrate excellence in our alumni community, and it is always so inspiring to learn of the amazing work our colleagues are doing out in the world. Those awards include the BSCAA Distinguished Service Award, the Recognition Award, the Recent Graduate Award, and the Ida Karp Award. We are honored to recognize our 2020 BSCAA Award winners. It is my honor to be presenting the Distinguished Service Award to Jim Clay. This award is presented annually to honor an individual's years of service to the college and its alumni. Jim has served on the BSCAA Advisory Board since 2006. Starting in 2009, he has served multiple roles as an elected officer, and from 2013 to 2019, he served as the president of BSCAA. Regardless of the various roles he has had on BSCAA, he has demonstrated a steadfast commitment to serving the Bank Street community. Jim, a 1988 graduate of the Bank Street Educational Leadership Program, was the director of School for Friends, a Quaker Friends school in Washington, D.C., for 33 years. As an early childhood leader, he has been generous in supporting our Bank Street colleagues over the years. He has opened his school for visits and made himself available to answer questions of aspiring new leaders. During most of the time that Jim served on the BSCAA board, he commuted all the way from his home in Washington, D.C. That distance did not keep him from attending all of the BSCAA meetings or numerous college events. Jim takes pride in the fact that Bank Street grads are everywhere, and he always enjoys bringing our alum together. Since 2006, he has found more than a couple dozen ways to bring our alumni community together. He has brought us together through tours to schools and museums, such as those to Sidewell Friends School or the recent tour of National Museum of African American History and Culture. He has created spaces to learn from colleagues, such as the storytelling event called Teacher Tell Tales. And he has helped us engage in rich conversations about education during the many book discussions he organized, even opening his home for some of those. Without a doubt, Jim has demonstrated dedication and commitment to furthering the beliefs and practices of Bank Street and is well deserving of the Distinguished Service Award. Thank you for your service and congratulations.
Thank you, Erica. I want to start today by acknowledging my parents, Florence and James Clay, who always emphasized with my siblings and me hard work, education, and service to the community. What a joy it is to be here today with these other distinguished honorees. And there are never enough occasions to thank my teachers at Bank Street. I think particularly of Ann Mitchell, Lynetta Gaines, Anne Marie Mott, and Esther Rosenfeld, and my fellow students like Gail Spear. And more recently, during sabbaticals, I worked with Gil Schmerler and Katie O'Donnell. And finally, thank you, BSCAA, for this award, and to Labiba Abdul-Rahman for nominating me. Lucy Sprague Mitchell founded our school in 1916, and she wrote a credo which ends with the following words: "Our work is based on the faith that human beings can improve the society they have created." Receiving this award means for me that my peers acknowledge my contribution to the work, the college, and society at large. At BSCAA, I followed Jesse Pugh as president of the Alumni Association and partnered with Linda Ring in the Alumni office. I was part of a successful team that built and strengthened the relationships among alums. For me, Bank Street is about people and relationships. At Bank Street, we believe that we learn through people, through interaction with other people, and, as Shale often says, with people who know us deeply. These relationships create learning opportunities. Bank Street is a dynamic community of learners, and it includes alumni. Last of all, I must thank my family, Art, Ethan, and Rose, for their support.
Hi, I'm Margaret Ryan, graduate of Bank Street in 2001. I've been part of the Alumni Association for 8 years and currently vice president of the board. I get to give the Ida Karp Award this evening, and that award is going to go to 2 graduates in recognition of their commitment to Bank Street, its philosophy, and its long-term goals. Martha Andrews and Sasha Wilson are co-directors and co-founders of Bronx Community Charter. I had the privilege of meeting them with my charter school co-founder and fellow Bank Street alumnus, Steve Evangelista, in 2006 when they were designing this school. And we've kept in touch over the years. I've learned so much from them about being a leader and also about a school model that can embody Bank Street philosophy and values. And the way that they do that in their school is really working with the community and seeing them as true partners in the work, using democratic leadership within their school where they are mentors but also seen as partners in the work. They also put social justice and diversity at the core of their curriculum and ensure that students are at the center. They focus highly on executive functioning skills through play in their early childhood, which is a stark contrast to what a lot of public school is doing currently with top-down instruction and test scores. With that said, I am just so happy, my co-founder and I are just so happy to know that a school like this exists in the Bronx community. To that end, I am thrilled to give Martha and Sasha the Ida Karp Award this evening and couldn't think of 2 better candidates for the award, and just congratulations to you both.
We're so honored to be recognized by the Bank Street College Alumni Association with this award. We're grateful to so many people at Bank Street, including Gil Schmerler, Frank Pignatelli, and Stan Chu, who served as our advisors over the years, and so many other wonderful educators at Bank Street. Bank Street was really fundamental in the founding and the growth of our school, Bronx Community Charter School, and we've really relied upon Bank Street and the people there and their guidance over the years.
As our school has grown over the past 13 years, Bank Street has continued to be an essential partner for us as a school and for the 2 of us as school leaders. From student teachers we've hosted to professors who have brought their classes to visit our school, to advisors who have continued to be thought partners to us as school leaders. Bank Street has left this indelible mark on our school, and we look forward to many years of continued partnership, and again are very thankful for the recognition from the Alumni Association tonight.
Good evening. My name is Becky Scuderi, and I'm Secretary of the BSCAA Advisory Board. Today, I'm presenting the Recognition Award, which is presented annually to 1 or more Bank Street graduates honoring outstanding career accomplishments in the field of education, which exemplifies the spirit and philosophy of Bank Street College. It is truly a privilege to be presenting the Recognition Award to Carolyn Quintana. Carolyn graduated from Bank Street in 2008 with a degree in Leadership for Educational Change. She has recently started a new role at the Institute for Student Achievement as the Senior Director of Programs for Social, Emotional, and Academic Development. Carolyn's career in New York City public education began in 2003 as a 9th grade English language arts teacher in the Bronx. She worked as a literary coach before moving into administration and attributes her approach to leadership to the opportunity to support the development of her peers. Carolyn works closely with her staff, students, and families to ensure that all students receive the highest level of instruction and are supported socially and emotionally. She has a clear vision as to how she feels students learn best. Her deep and dynamic vision has created a supportive environment where many teachers and leaders can achieve their goals. As a former principal and principal coach, she inspires students and staff to reach their full potential because she demands the best from everyone. She is well-spoken, able to organize and express ideas clearly, possesses sound logic, and is competent in the areas of pedagogy, research, and literacy. Carolyn is sensitive to the diverse backgrounds and ability of student populations. She is invested in helping students become advocates for themselves and truly drive their own instruction and learning. Please join me in presenting the BSCAA Recognition Award to Carolyn Quintana. Congratulations and well-deserved.
Hi, good evening. My name is Carolyn Quintana. I am a Bank Street College Graduate School of Education alumna, class of 2008. I am honored to be recognized for my work in the field of education. There is no doubt that I have been influenced by all of my teachers over the years, from my parents to the innovative folks at Oaks Elementary, to my colleagues, my students, and the professors at Bank Street, some of whom I've had an opportunity to reconnect with during my doctoral work. I chose Bank Street for its philosophies on education, the focus on learning environments, and creating the conditions for all students to thrive still drives my work. As the Senior Director for Socio-Emotional and Academic Development at the Institute for Student Achievement, quite a mouthful, Director of SEED at ISA, my role now is to help schools and districts develop the mindsets, the structures, and the practices so that they may successfully develop each child wholly. Those beliefs and practices were made concrete at Bank Street. And so while I'm being recognized for my work, I give thanks to the Bank Street community for the impact that you continue to have on me so that I may positively impact the field of education. Thank you for this award. I'm really honored.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nancy Cardwell. I'm on the Early Childhood Graduate Faculty at the City College of New York. I am also a BSCAA Advisory Board member and chair of the BSCAA Social Justice Committee. This evening, it is my honor and pleasure to present the BSCAA Recognition Award to Ron Azoulay. This award is presented annually to Bank Street graduates in honor of outstanding career accomplishments in the field of education that exemplify the spirit and philosophy of Bank Street College. From the time I met Ron as a graduate student at Bank Street, he has always been a fearlessly reflective educator who builds alliances and coalitions to support the needs of historically underrepresented communities. Ron is always fully present in his teaching, learning, and advocacy, always respecting the dignity and agency of every child and family in his care, the embodiment of Bank Street's philosophy and spirit. Ron graduated from Bank Street in 2004 with a master's degree in childhood education. Since then, he has been a dedicated educator and advocate for children and families from varied backgrounds. He was a first grade bilingual teacher in Taiwan, a first and third grade teacher in the Bronx. He attended the New York City Leadership Academy to develop his leadership capacities. He then applied these leadership skills as the founding director of Hebrew Curriculum and Instruction at the Hebrew Language Academy Charter School in Brooklyn. Unfortunately, in 2010, New York City lost Ron when he moved to Omaha to pursue and complete his doctoral studies in education administration at the University of Nebraska, Omaha, as he worked with Omaha Public Schools to strengthen early childhood education opportunities for the increasingly culturally, linguistically, economically, and racially diverse children and families who live there. Ron is the founding partner of COMSA Group, where he is continuing this important work on a broader scale to improve the lives of children, families, and educators. In the true spirit of Bank Street College, Ron used his own experiences to support others, serving as an advocate and resource for fellow leukemia survivors. His example as a teacher, leader, and human is a constant source of inspiration to all those who come in contact with him, including me. Please join me to congratulate Ron for all of his hard work and for receiving the BSCAA Recognition Award he so richly deserves. Congratulations, Ron. I'm really happy for you.
I'm honored to receive this award. Education has been a lifelong passion of mine. In these extreme challenging times, I'm reminded of how fragile the world we live in is. We make up communities to help us acknowledge and address this fragility. The BSCAA is one such community. Thank you. Thank you for bringing us together to celebrate in these fragile times. Thank you, Nina Jaffe, for nominating me for this award. It has been a privilege sharing learning spaces with you and finding communities to move, sing, and share stories with. Thank you, Sal Vassalero, for teaching me to listen and observe. I'm a better educator because of it. I'd like us to continue the work Bank Street reminds us that we do to improve the conditions our society creates. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Labiba Abdurrahman from the class of 1993, and I'm on the advisory board at BSCAA. Tonight, I'm presenting the recent Graduate Award. This award is presented for outstanding contributions in the field of education. It is an honor and privilege to be presenting the recent Graduate Award to Princess Francois. Princess holds 2 Bank Street degrees with a focus in educational leadership. Princess's impact on her students and community is rooted in her intellectual curiosity and her long-deferred desire to see the world. Growing up, Princess loved learning about various cultures. Born and raised in Brooklyn, Princess, along with her mother, traveled locally, hopping on buses to explore different neighborhoods and on the subway to explore other boroughs in the tri-state area. Her teachers and students are the recipients of all that she has absorbed in her travels. She must be quite a storyteller. Princess has demonstrated courage by making some bold moves in her career, moving from pre-med to teaching and from her DOE school to a charter school. Princess puts the needs of her students first, 100% of the time, encouraging students, advocating for students, organizing events, serving as a role model, while maintaining her image as a bold woman who loves herself and values education. Princess works closely with her colleagues and supports them in ways that bring about desired results. This sensitivity has earned her an affectionate name at her current school. They call her Mama Fran. Princess has earned the respect of her school community stakeholders by treating those around her with respect. Never having to raise her voice in anger, she leads with fairness and with wisdom, far beyond her years. Please join me in acknowledging and congratulating Princess Francois in receiving the BSCAA Recent Graduate Award. Congratulations.
Hi, I wanted to start off by expressing I'm extremely honored and privileged to receive the 2020 BSCAA Recent Graduate Award. The impact of this award hit me closer when I discovered that I am only the third person to receive this award since 2014. The past year has made me take a step back and really reflect on how far I have come. Receiving notification of this award the same school year that I received the National Milken Award made me wonder, why me? While I have yet to come up with an answer to that question, I am very grateful for these honors and do not take them lightly. Educate, inspire, amplify. These are three verbs that I continue to aim to fulfill in all aspects of my life. As a school leader, educating and inspiring has been at the forefront of my journey as an educator starting 10 years ago. Education found me as every step I took was towards med school instead. However, little did I know that I was being equipped to become a STEM educator instead. As I taught high school chemistry and other advanced science classes at the very school I was assigned to attend as a high schooler, I realized that I was put there for a reason, to ensure that students coming from similar socioeconomic backgrounds as mine thrived. In my case, being a Caribbean American who was raised by a single mother below the poverty line and was able to climb her way to the top, literally. Bank Street became a part of my journey. I was the youngest person in my cohort in the Principal's Institute, just 24 years old at the time. I may have been overly ambitious, but I always knew that I could and would have a large impact extending beyond the classroom. I have, and it continues to grow. I would like to thank two special people from Bank Street who nominated me for this award and molded me into the effective school leader that I am today. The first is Steve Drakes, who not only served as my advisor through my Bank Street experience, but also a confidant and role model. The same racial representation that I saw through him, I always aimed to be for someone else. I still remember him telling me, "You are more than ready to be a school leader now." I did not know what that meant at the time. Ready to fight for racial equity, ready to lead in a pandemic, while I am here doing it all. The second person is Ellis Scope, who served as my professor but has continued to be a supporter, advocate, and mentor in my endeavors. Amplify. The last verb has been my driving force throughout my 5 years as an assistant principal so far at Mesa Charter High School. I saw a need to amplify Black students in a predominantly Latinx community, especially our Black girls who were facing micro and macro aggressions. What started off as trying to give them a voice has been molded into introducing, developing, and continuously shaping the work of anti-racism and inclusion in my school to staff and students. This is my proudest legacy so far. We have come a long way, and it has been a tiring yet rewarding journey. It has led me to expand my impact beyond my school to a national stage, whether it is receiving the Milken Award or speaking at the National Science Teacher Conference about spreading and retaining Black girl magic in STEM. I would be remiss if I did not mention the extraordinary times that we are in serving as a school leader during multiple pandemics, COVID-19 and racism. Racial equity has now extended into digital equity. While we have officially been remote for over a year, we have been given the space to break out the typical mold of school and do some extraordinary things, such as pause regular instruction to facilitate Rock the Vote workshops series in response to the 2020 elections, and our School Diversity series to educate students on race, ethnicity, gender, and sexuality. Both, which I helped to co-create, were created out of responsiveness to students' feelings, interests, and gaps of knowledge. Finally, I want to end by thanking my tribe of supporters, which includes my family, my friends, and my colleagues. There are two important people in my life who have provided me so much strength throughout my entire journey and have been my biggest cheerleaders. The first is my mom, who made so many sacrifices for me to be where I am today and have been literally there every single step of the way. She has shown me what it means to be a lifelong learner. The last is my fiance, Andy, who is an elementary school teacher who's also in pursuit of school leadership. He continues to remind me of my why. His passion for education and his community is refreshing, and it continues to fuel mine. Thank you, everyone, and I hope you find ways to educate, inspire, amplify.
Good evening. My name is Eric Gutierrez, and I am the Director of Alumni Relations. I also would like to congratulate all of our award winners this evening. You're truly an inspiration, and you embody the mission and the spirit of Bank Street. The 6 recipients this evening are just a few examples of our many alumni ambassadors, and they represent the essence of our alumni network. It is truly an honor to be part of the Bank Street community because through my many interactions with our alumni, I see the quality of work that's produced and how invested our alumni are in making changes in their communities. Before I close out this evening, I would like to thank Shale Polakowski, Celia Traw, our BSCAA officers, and of course, our award recipients. I also would like to thank Dylan Morgan for helping produce tonight's celebration. Thank you to everyone who joined us this evening. We look forward to celebrating next year face-to-face at the 2022 BSCAA Awards ceremony. Have a good night.